Alright, so this is the most requested video, so I'm gonna make it. If you guys didn't know, I'm like 600 stars in BedWars and I have over 2,000 hours on BedWars alone. I'm also number 90 on lifetime solo leaderboards, so I know pretty much how the game works. And most importantly, I'm the best BedWars player ever. Anyway, I'm gonna try to explain how to win solo like a freaking god. Also, sorry if this is bad, it's my first voiceover and I just put some clips in the background for you to see that I'm actually the best BedWars player to ever live. So one thing a lot of BedWars players get wrong is that bridging matters and CPS matters. I want to get this out of the way now. God bridging, moonwalking, breeze, etc. are a waste of your time if you want to get BedWars, better at BedWars itself. This is because if you think about it, getting to base quicker doesn't actually matter because no matter how good you are at bridging, it won't make you better in any other aspects of BedWars that I will go over soon, but are all more important than bridging. Also, it takes a pretty decent amount of time to learn how to do special bridging methods, and oftentimes it takes up money to buy mouse, tape, etc. If you put the time you spend to learning to god bridge into actually playing BedWars, you'll get better at BedWars as a whole instead of just bridging. Plus, a fast speed bridge works perfectly fine, which is why all the top players speed bridge. Well, not all of them, but most of them. Now that we have that out the way, let's get into the more important parts of BedWars. So first I'll go over PvP. PvP is a pretty important part of BedWars. PvP you can't just master by watching tutorials, which is why whatever million people have watched Intel's guides on PvP aren't masters yet. However, different techniques and tutorials can give you a base of PvP, and will definitely help you learn PvP better. With that being said, I'll say some common PvP techniques players use often. W tapping, block hitting, and strafing are the more popular ones. You can look them up on YouTube, there's a million tutorials on them, so I don't want to go over it. Once again, PvP, you won't just get good immediately, but putting time into PvP will benefit your BedWars skills a lot. Now we have to talk about the main aspect of BedWars, Gamesense. Gamesense is not like PvP and bridging, it's not just one topic. However, what Gamesense means is the way you play solo and what you do in different situations. One big tip I can give everyone is to watch YouTubers who are good at the game. For example, some YouTubers who are good I can recommend to you are GamesenseIQ, MedHiQ, and LuKremBo. Also, there's a lot of smaller YouTubers who are good at the games that are on leaderboards. Some of these people are Talent, Seat Gaming, Purpled, and Hashido. Another tip for some reason a lot of BedWars players don't do is go to middle and diamond gens to get stacked. If you clutch a game after your bed's destroyed, it's actually not that hard in solo. One thing you should do when your bed gets destroyed is immediately go to middle and getting 8 M's and going back to your base, getting diamonds and spending them. I'll go over later in this video what to buy with diamonds, emeralds, gold, and iron. You will pick up Gamesense as you play BedWars. As playtime goes on, Gamesense will build up, and you will learn what to do in most situations. The biggest tip in my opinion for solo / Gamesense is to be aware of the game. One thing everyone should know is that targeting in BedWars is not against the rules. Teaming is. You can target as much as you want in BedWars, and that is what I recommend you do. Even if someone else is going for the same person as you are, as long as you're not directly teaming, you should be fine to target. I'd recommend targeting people who are nicked or high levels. Those are probably the biggest threats. Playstyles also falls under Gamesense. I'll go over some common playstyles and how to play them correctly. First, the TNT rush. If you are the type of person to TNT rush, this is what you should do. Get 64 blocks in TNT, build over your opponent, drop to the TNT, and once the TNT blows up, drop down, try getting 1 or 2 hits on the opponent to knock them from the bed, then break the bed, and if you can, kill them. One thing you lose from this playstyle is a good bed defense, and a tip for it is use TNT timer. It's a mod on Forge or Badlion, and I don't think it's on Lunar yet, but I'm not 100% sure. Another common rush type is Wood Rush, my favorite. Once you get 16 iron, leave the gen, get 64 blocks in wood, place a misplaced wood defense on the bed, and rush your opponent as quick as you can. Keep rushing until they die as the final. One thing you lose from this defense is that fights could go a long time because you don't have anything that can break a bed fast. There are many other types of rushing methods, but these are the 2 most common. Also, obby can sometimes be good strat, but it takes up a lot of time, and if you're grinding or just trying to get wins fast, it's a waste of your time. Plus, you can buy better things with emeralds than obby. One very important thing that will get you better at the game is not just sitting at your base the whole time or building a huge bed defense. Those are both useless. Try bridging out to people, breaking beds, getting kills. That's what's going to get you better at BedWars. And that's what's going to have you win more games. Now I'll get into what to buy with the Shopkeepers. In solo BedWars, there's two Shopkeepers: the item shop, where you buy non-permanent items to assist your gameplay, and the solo upgrades, where you buy enchantments that are permanent and other useful items, upgrades with diamonds. A lot of items are good in some situations, so instead of going over the ones you should buy, I'll tell you what not to buy. Glass, hardened clay, dream defenders, chain armor, sponges, diamond armor, and bows, most of the time, are things you should basically never get with gold, Ms, and iron. And I would also like to point out, upgrading your tools in solo is really never necessary, unless they have obby, then you should get a diamond pick. Other than that, wood tools will most of the time be more than enough to break a bed. As for diamonds, there's only a few things you should get. Sharpness, reinforced armor, and miner fatigue traps are the things you should focus on upgrading with diamonds. However, you should buy Maniac Miner if someone has obby because it breaks blocks faster, and alarm traps if you know someone's about to injure you. Heal pool can also be useful if you're low on health and don't have enough for a gap. Everything else is a waste of diamonds. Also, one thing a lot of BedWars players think is it's impossible to clutch a game after your bed breaks. If you see my videos, I clutch very frequently because of the 3 steps I take. 1. Avoid fights. 2. Stack up. 3. Clean fights if you ever can. If you go to middle immediately after your bed breaks and secure 8 Ms, you can easily win. Also, you should get at least sharp 1 pro 1 if you want to clutch a game easier. Just remember, don't give up your bed breaks. Really, what you want to do to win games is rush out as many people as you can, play as much as you can, and make sure your bed doesn't break. It makes it a lot easier to play if your bed isn't broken, and you get quicker games. One more thing, don't be afraid of running from fights, especially if you're bedless. If you don't know if you're going to win a fight, just try running to an opponent's base so they follow you back. With all that being said, I hope you guys learned something and hope you get more solo wins. There's a lot I didn't include, so tell me if I should make a part 2. I'm also really close to 1k subs. I'm doing a pack release plus Q&A at 1k. See you next time.